One major flashpoint continues to be the Bawku area. Only 2 days ago, an incident in a marketplace triggered an unfortunate loss of lives and criminal vandalism of property. I wish to emphasize that nobody gains from this situation of conflict and insecurity. We have triggered the Otumfo mediation process, which saw all stakeholders participate in discussions in Kumasi on a roadmap towards peace. I'm assured by the Asantehene that the process will resume next week when he returns from his brief visit abroad. Congratulations to our armed forces for the sacrifices you have made, even at the peril of your lives, to protect life and property in the Bawku conflict area. We need the cooperation of all to restore peace in Bawku and its environs. And I entreat all sides to embrace peace as we dialogue to resolve this age-old dispute. The distinguished guests, plans for the expansion of the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure increased capacity to counter both internal and external threats were initiated while I was in office in my previous term. During this period, we supervised the acquisition of air, land, and sea assets to equip the armed forces to fulfill their mandate of keeping our nation safe. We'll resource the Ghana Armed Forces. This means better equipment, including more simulators, advanced training, and the ability to mobilize swiftly in times of need. You'll be equipped to excel in your duties. We shall assess the retooling initiative and facilitate cost-effective outcomes to equip our army to the standards required for a 21st century defense force.
Na sansem kroya ho na Reverend John Intim for Juasen South Masebedwani wodi na no atomu bi esere mpenifo se wonhwe hu ne se boko ne yakoso na animani ye obepe anop masibire o se asante kotoko hene abo mpenifo ano hoba so de ne na besim ye bom pai so de ne na simu a ebi wi asumdwe ne mbom ensemu a posisa hene edi atudwa sa de chewo boko wodi wona akode to fom obefa dodo na adwuma o police mu no o se entwaye.
The minority in parliament is deeply concerned about the worsening security situation in Bawku, where persistent violence continues to endanger lives and displace residents. Over the past few months, the intensity and frequency of attacks, including sporadic shootings, arson, and home invasions, have escalated, with reports suggesting a high death toll, with many people said to be missing than those reported dead. The growing sophistication of weaponry used in these attacks is particularly alarming, raising questions about the sources of arms and the effectiveness of measures to curb their proliferation. Recent developments, including targeted bus attacks and the setting ablaze of the residence of the Honorable Mahama Ayariga, the majority leader, reflect the increasing volatility of the situation and the level of frustration among sections of the youth. The failure to de-escalate tensions leads to a cycle of reprisals, which, if unchecked, will further entrench insecurity in the area. As a strategic border town, Bawku's instability poses a wider national and regional security risk. The expansion of attacks to other regions, including the Northeast and Ahafo region, have further underscores the urgent need for a more coordinated response. Beyond the immediate security concerns, the instability has devastated the affected communities. Schools have been forced to shut down, depriving children of their right to education, while key institutions and businesses are fleeing the area due to safety concerns. Critical sectors such as education and healthcare are severely impacted, with teachers, nurses, and other professionals refusing postings to Bawku for fear of their safety. The continued insecurity is gradually crippling essential services, worsening the plight of residents, and deepening the humanitarian crisis. It is evident that the current approach to addressing the conflict has not been sufficient to restore calm. The government must demonstrate greater urgency and decisiveness. The deteriorating situation in Bawku is a national concern, and the government must take immediate action to prevent further escalation. The people of Bawku deserve to live in peace and security, and we urge, as a minority caucus, urge the government to prioritize a sustainable resolution to the crisis before it spirals further out of control.
Yeko Ghana Mampeni, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Suebim Mampeni di atudwa se Ghana this year nyina yamwa bambofo no momo oman ho eban se wo mpatam bi na wo se boni bi ekoso obi yade bi a ensem fata entem so no yi bambofo asutri serbe ya o metu anamo no maboye nyina ye ho ban
Ghana Mampeni ne ka sai mu no ene odi tudwa sa asra dwuma ekoni die adwuma ehye won sa ne nya baako edoso yetimi ma won kwan wo ye dodo na no e de bo my Ghana ye sundwe ene ye bambo enti nsem amanfo bi na na wokeka sa amanyofo obehwe no wo hyehye bambo adwuma eku ahodo achi na wodi hunhun amanfo no wo se sansem no eye hurudo hurada semo a ne kure bia enimu wo so hwe Reverend John Ntim Fodwo no kura ka bi sa ban no e de bambofo ehunhun no wo se nyina no anya ne kure sansa bambofo adwuma de e da ho pefi anya monyoni anasa monyoko ne be kire won ne wo so ye.
As citizens of Ghana, we must recognize that the nature of contemporary threats that confront us demand that we do not perceive our security services as the exclusive institutions responsible for our safety and security. The complementary roles of individuals, organizations, and the government in national security is of critical importance. I urge our citizens in discharging this complementary duty of helping to safeguard our security not to behave like the shepherd boy in the famous fable who cried wolf, wolf when there was no wolf. If we behave like that boy either for partisan or parochial interest, we distract the attention of our security services from focusing on their critical job of keeping us safe. Let us support our security services and the Ghana Armed Forces with information that is useful and intelligence that is helpful, that will advance their work rather than retrogress it. Let me reiterate that we will take all allegations of crime seriously and trigger our security service investigative machinery to go after criminals no matter who they are. But let me state emphatically also that we do not have the resources and time to engage in any game of smoke and mirrors every step of the way.
Enra ena nkramanta mu isuafo edi mpinifo enim kokopie mu wo danso ma Ramza site wo ho no mu anipa bi wo fuma asase no wo mo to wo mo si fie no okodwiri nyina no edi egu ye na we e kame akwa safi bia na asa aban bia ba o mutu sana mo no nam so ama panyini bia wo policy advisor for Ghana Chamber and Construction and Industries Ura Alfred Kwasipo kwa kase de tudwa sese ne abia bia ba Ramza site ne ebu amanfo de egu no enya de a edi sese bia ba ono kwa ne yemu a obi enkruchi abanya asase a yenche no na me yemu dan ngu keke na yenja nipa ne manifa ne tinidim.
Best 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Sabrekrana, AMBH, the Sananina, one regional, near Yankiche Munkitin Kitikrano. Now, a friend is building inspectors are higher by 29, the whole Accra regional level. The bed number call round, Aqua could drew, I want to say, yes, see that drew her, and that's a bugo. Since you actually Moyi, you building inspectors or more works department. Woman to me come in, but no Hokroba Quadrono, not Nipper land gas a guhua, wo bahodo. Now our life is in danger. Minim Nkrahaba Bia, building inspectors from Assembly Acco. I was a debis in Sum, so as to bone him a quanya in so fast locomo. I'm a high court to crack, I said, Dan Yonko Bungu. High court, ama order said, Dan Yonko Bungu. It's your best a feeling a main call the Dan that's so. Best and fancy and no be anti Bungu. If we said, this you know, because High Court on the Bradam Assembly in Munkonkobu, this you know necessary a magrid as Munkonkobu, and your town plan officer or your man order no untimenko. This is this no my town plan officer no order say, more anocracy Kwakubuda no a this no na magrid ako. Tamplan and Robacans or Quacoches and that when you see Mumun. It is a chain of reactions. This is a political head. no normal order. It's a grade that Tamplan of the Union Coaching and Baby in him. Said order number into me. This is why a political head. Sir, your friend of fee, a bankasiemu, Jubilee House, Yachidia, on Kamuhi. The Tamplan officer no answer to go. The High Court order the amount. But what Tamplan officer no, Yankasa Kokubu, wouldn't mean fat and so beast and action Kokubudan. It's a politics. Amra you this one in your intimini so but we are saying in politics. So this no crap so you near from Bankasiemu say Jaya and once were Jaya. Oh na mission. It's a politics. We from when ye baby. The Wubo Almobia who said none and then in first year bank crania. A session near maybe cost what say a high incident. So I said never because even crash all jib by a dining your wall I intimate from we cry a wall 6 feet will be crabbed to me see a quick there and they are continuous monitoring. Say aha ye she wa ha said yes in your cranny bedua and bebre ama higher quiet. Ya who say, catch you would have alcohol, sit down and get all bebra. You na your quiet. And so be fa quiet as in a tower and say, and says she just has no tamano to hoqua. A bambo, the wubo, young subribi, yen bribi, so that the land will be occupied. Na a catasso, our young ye. So one yen is there, and nipa beko aquafadia.
FDA adwumakuo no ene Bawku ahodobi akonho abomu etu sama me no kase Ghana de hye enwotwe bi akwakochio mo wom de nubonhu dwa enomu edi
Enti jumedia edi mu nyina mate se wonim red anasa substances of abuse ye mebunu ne use a mom euphoria anasa ye mom higher esa affect your lives negatively no ye ni security agencies narcotics control commission the police any pharmacy council and customs and ye bomu na ye intelligence baby a ye benya sa ne be 1 year DNA just say yeah undercover investigation afi ye komo a yakochi suspects na ya this ye seize products ye there be into products na range from opioids no winim red no to cannabis and a friend weed no and pharmaceutical products unregistered tobacco products unregistered and sexual enhancers near there no baby I call you nya sa ne mani nyina bia e be investigation na ya bring you mu nyina to book omo be tia fines omo ediom betum so ediom betum de ye wo offices wo regions ni nyina and security forces no so nyina so wo representatives inti ye nyina ye be ka bom but because of intelligence operations it mean to din da omo beye ba omo go ahoboa so a omo nso beye bi ena ye call tema community 1 ena shaman ye ka che ye mabunu nyina se e ya de a omo betimi age omo ani omo beye ba omo go ahoboa so a omo nso beye bi ena ye call tema community 1 e ya de a omo to sa substance e kan wadwen e kan won internal organs na viral videos na ye hu se nkrofo ya no mu twahwe no obetimi akokoma obetimi aya unconscious obetimi kra ewu nti e strong mo ani o ma wofu nyina obi ama nani nko ne ba ho na ye make sure se sa product ya ready ye market no of it na omo nso aha omo mu trading the way ya chi omo ye de omo fi ha ye call police station ye de bi be court ye start investigation na investigation kra be ma ya chi omo di akire ni nyina nti enya de a ye one day wonder ne ya ye said ye adwuma no but say we ya frame media say be ya but ade eguso a a lot of strategies go into place your borders no baby a amand no ye sure say ye dey nkrofo beko and also with collaborative efforts ya na ye dey and then where it is ye were already men there no ye intensify ye patrol ni ade nyina and ye transit laws so a etimima products ni bi ba na assign are returning into the country no so yes sasa transit laws ni nyina awareness creation ni de yeguso into your products ni FDA products nyina e was a tendency of being abused dada even though say ehia say hospital de be ye adwuma no say dey see ye adwuma no wa mo ho ban a ubenya what we have on our hands nti ye ko schools nyina ye ni school health education program and aye sa anhyehyɛ no nti ye ko schools nyina markets ye ko communities. As I speak to you and ra ye meeti Ablikuma West health directorate nyina the whole of May. It is the community opinion leaders chiefs healthcare practitioners ye ni schools ni nyina we actually have a song your friend no that big campaign ye the youth prevention programs no inti ye dey call and subsequently ye ni nationwide bebia.
Awie ahana brebe makwan na kasebo no yedi asie kasebo na sise no ekomu atene nkomotwetwe ebeto aso edemamonane David ofori safo eni mpenifo besi nkonya na wadi adusuamu enkomo double track system no braso se wosi yifiri ho no mo anampo ehia bre kakra edi aka ho mpenifo besi nkonya na wadi ho enkomo nyi wa fidie ni mfiri ha yetwe ho abasese ya bank motwetwe eto aso.